recording. Thank you, John, for doing this for our team. I know you're working late over there in Arizona, although we screwed the time zone up again. My bad.
I was literally about to say what the product was about an hour ago. So it's we messed up.
Whatever. Oh man, I can't wait to find out about the new product. Like I feel like we're all kind of off kilter because we're not flying to Vegas or someplace right now, you know? So it's gonna smack us this weekend, all things convention.
Yeah. And, that's one thing that I'm real excited about because already I feel like these last 3 months have had insane motivation and there's just been so many exciting things. And whatever is coming out at convention, I feel like it's just going to be that extra little oomph coming out of nowhere, So I'm just real excited thinking about all the awesome stuff that we're pushing for this month, having that little extra tool in our tool belt.
I love it. Well, I was telling the team on a call not too long ago that we kind of thought we were on a rocket ship before, but now I feel like we're still on the rocket ship. When it's like rumbling still on the pad and like the fire's starting to kick up and the smoke's going, I feel like that's where we're at. We haven't even taken off yet, at all. I feel like we're still getting the last year we were getting the foundation for everything we needed. We've staffed up corporate office, home office, and I feel like now we're starting to rumble. And I don't even think we're not even going to take off this year. Maybe the end of the year, maybe.
No, it's honestly, it's 100% that. Or like when you're boiling some water, we're right at that point right now where it looks like we're starting to see. Oh, can you hear us?
I can hear. Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. All right. So it looks like we're really at that spot. Try turning your. But we're at that spot where the water's really about to get bubbling, boiling. It's I feel like we've just wanted to implement so many things, and for some reason just the excitement kicked up out of nowhere. I feel like we've been trying to get that lawnmower started, and then we got that pull, and now so it's just there rumbling, ready to go, and we're getting ready to go take on the lawn with it.
Yeah, love it.
Awesome. So I would love to start this off. I'm John Perini. I've been with Plexus for a little over 4 years now. Honestly, I completely love the company. I came in as a customer service agent, and I've been able to work my way all the way up to a regional sales manager. And it's just been such an exciting company to work with. All of us internally, we're all a bunch of friends, and just the stories that come along with these products are amazing. And I'm going to get kind of uncompliant on this one. Same thing, just because I'm on here, don't feel like we have to be compliant on this call. I know a lot of those super exciting stories are usually a little bit of, out of compliance. But one of the biggest stories that has stuck with me was I went to an event over here at a church. There's some teams that do some events over here. And there was a husband and wife who were talking about the products, and they were silvers. And they had been with us for a while. They tried to get up to gold, but they never were able to get up to gold. But the husband was telling me about how his wife had dementia and she was going through dementia. And after they started taking the products and they got the gut healthier, she was able to kind of clear up her brain a little bit. And both of them were just in tears when they were talking to me. The husband was telling me, he's like, I don't care that we haven't been able to get up to gold. I have my wife back, and I didn't have my wife for a few years, and I never thought I would talk to her again. And having her back is the whole reason why I'm staying with Plexus. And I heard that story a few years ago, and really at that moment, that's when I really kind of, caught on to the vision and really realized what these products could do for people. So that in tandem with getting to show up and work with a lot of the top rock stars like y'all, that's really my why, is if I can be a piece to your success throughout the day, even if it's just let me know some of the struggles we went through and then we can high five, that's just my favorite part. I'm a yellow, if you know those color personalities. So I get my joy from helping others. Amy, before we kick off, do you want to tell us a little bit what your why is? I know you've been here for a while, so I'm assuming your why has to have switched. So what are you working for?
Yes, it has changed. So I'll tell you, when I first started, many of you guys know my story, although there's some new people. So let me share, Bobby may not know that I was in corporate America and I had a 1-hour commute and I had a baby at home. And when I realized that my upline, Sarah Taylor, she was a Ruby. When she showed me her Ruby check, which back then was about $4,000 maybe. When I realized that I could potentially make that money and I could get out of my commute, that was my why. I just wanted to get out of that commute because I hated it. So that was my why for when I did it. Then once I started making that money, I worked full time up to senior Ruby. My why became just a little bit of I just wanted to prove to people that I could do it. So my drive then to become a Jewel was to prove that I could do it, to prove that I could be successful, that I could get the car. Not that anyone ever said anything to my face, but I just had this kind of like, I want to prove to everyone this is legit and I love this company. Then the why became about the RV trip, being able to maintain a rank that would maintain that lifestyle on the RV trip so we could enjoy it and still be able to afford it. And then I'll be honest, I lost my why a little bit. Like my why obviously is to help you guys, my team. That's why I show up every single day and keep going. I mean, I could, right, sit back and not do anything, but my why is you guys. But personally, you guys, you have to have a personal, selfish why that gets you out of bed every day, right? Because as much as you love your team and you love helping people, there are days when that is not enough to get you out of bed. So I believe that your why has to be selfish. It can't even be to retire your husband or to pay for your kids' college. Like there has to be a piece of it that is selfish, that is going to keep you going through the muck. And I lost what that why was, honestly. And now in the world that we live in, I have realized that my why is back to providing for my family, that whatever happens in my husband's industry, whatever happens, retirement, whatever, that if I hit diamond, that's enough that we're going to be okay. And then beyond that, whatever that looks like, charity, paying for college, but I've had to go back to kind of that selfish why again. So that's where I'm at now. Like my personal why is to, one, prove to people that you can get to the top of the company, but really to have that financial security for us as a family. Like it'd be huge. So
Definitely. And, I love how you were kind of talking about just identifying that why. There's a really awesome exercise I would love to throw out to y'all. It's called the 7 levels, like 7 levels deep of why, or I don't really know what the heck it's officially called, but you ask yourself why you want that 7 times. So if you want to stay home and not have to go to a job Monday through Friday, ask yourself why you want that. It's like, well, I want to be home all the time. Why do you want to be home all the time? So I can be home with the kiddos. Why do you want to be home with the kiddos? And you keep asking yourself. And I think that's just a really cool exercise. I feel like we don't set enough intentional time down to kind of get to know ourselves. And once you really figure out that the core of what's pushing you, it's going to challenge you to push through all that gunk, those trenches, those rejections that we'll get, all of that stuff, because you just got to know what you're working for.
well, and I love that exercise. So I did that, and I actually, Sarah, so my bestie, her and I did it together, because when I got to like the 4th and 5th level of asking why, I got stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then she, and I think if you do it with someone else and they can really pull it out of you and kind of rephrase things, I mean, I was in tears. And then that's when I finally got to like the why. And it's all about like security. And, for me, security and some sort of legitimacy to success or whatever that is tied to it. But I feel like if you guys do that exercise, to do it with like a running buddy or a partner, even just a good friend, to really get you down, because I had trouble getting to asking it, 5, 6, and 7. So
Mm-hmm. It's like that's usually where it's easy to kind of quit, but then that's usually where we find out the stuff that we're looking for.
Yep.
So with that, the first area that I would love to chat with y'all about is I would love to hear what y'all are working for this month. So whatever your goal is, if you're going for a rank up, if you're just going for a point increase, if you want to develop a silver, whatever it is, I would love to hear what your goal is and what actions you're doing to achieve that goal. So Tanya, I'm just going to pick on you because I know you were on a call recently. So hopefully you got some fresh stuff to chat with, and your screen's frozen at the moment. So hopefully that clears up. But Tanya, I would love to hear what you're going for this month.
Can you hear me at all? Because everything is frozen on my end. I can just hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's loud and clear. You're good.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yes, I was just on a call. I am working towards this month, getting myself back into a rhythm, and surpassing that rhythm, refocusing on that daily activity. I spent so much time kind of focusing on myself and not pouring into anything else, if I'm honest. So this month it's bringing myself back to where I'm supposed to be for me and my business. Looking at my why is still just very difficult because I struggle so hard there. But it's pouring back into myself, those people that have been with me this whole time, and then moving forward, I back to having office hours and things like that. Just trying to get life back to normal, because for me, we're in the middle of June. I would like to, by the end of July, be at gold, so that by September, I'm moving forward into the senior gold range.
Awesome. Love it. Well, you got a lot of stuff. I mean, we're prepping. We're halfway through the month. There's still lots of exciting things coming. And one thing to hopefully add some excitement is internally, some of the numbers we've been looking at, where we have a chance to top the iPad month with enrollments this month. This may be one of the biggest months in Plexus, which is just, I don't know, like so exciting. So just wanted to throw that out because, I mean, we're halfway through. So many exciting things right on the way. So love it. Thanks for sharing, Tanya. Jamie, how about yourself? What are you shooting for this month? What are your goals?
Hi. I have actually signed my 3 for the first incentive. So my goal is I ranked gold and I lost it. I mean, I didn't lose it, but I fell. So I am really kind of focusing on, excuse me, setting time aside each day to not just scroll Facebook, but to actually comment and interact with my friends. And I have tons of messages, personal messages going back and forth with that. For some reason, that post with needing 6 friends to try Slim. I signed 3 already, and then I have 1 in the process of signing right now. She keeps texting me as we're talking. And she is actually going to in turn sign her husband up under her so that she can start to try and earn that incentive this month also.
Heck yeah.
And then other than like helping my newbies, I've got a few that I've helped one already sign someone. We've done a launch party. Amy helped me with that. So it's just kind of working on the newbies to get them sharing.
Awesome. I love that. Literally, that is the main focus that separates the quickest growing teams from the ones who aren't growing as quick, is developing the new people that come in. That's hands down. It's not the teams that have the highest enrollments. It's the ones who have the highest new enrollment development percentage. So love that that's the focus, and that's really where we're going to see a lot of awesome growth. So love that. Amy, I saw you unmuted yourself. Did you want to throw anything in on that? Oh, nope.
Well, I was going to, but then I thought if I do that on everyone, this call is going to take forever. So
I know. And then last one for this one, Tamsin, I'd love to hear what you're going for this month. What is your goal?
I'm on my tablet and I had to find my mute. So when I first started the month, my goal was to re-rank gold. At the rate it's going, I'm probably going to fly past senior gold.
Heck yeah.
I'm talking to 11 people right now of my own. I have Bobby, who I think just signed her 2nd person this month. And then she's got somebody under her that we're helping too. And I offered prizes to my team and they're all fighting over who's going to get what.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, my head hurts a little bit, but it's a good thing.
Yeah. It's a good kind of like head clutter or whatever, it's just overloaded with too much excitement. Love that. Well, wish you the best on going for that double rank. That sounds super exciting. Love that. So this is something I want to share with you all, because I feel like just with everything that's been going on in these last few months, a lot of people who have been watching us for a long time have been much more receptive to signing up or trying out Plexus. Now, can't say that it's because of the craziness that's been going on in the world, but sometimes we just need that motivator. If we've been healthy and we've been fine with our finances, but now we may need to look for another area to get finances, people have been watching us and they've been more receptive. So I want to share this drawing with you because it shows that what someone focuses on and their physiology affects their state of mind. Their state of mind affects their actions and behaviors, and the actions and behaviors they have affects their results. Now, I'm just thinking, and I'm going to take this kind of to the extreme, where maybe with all the stuff that's been going on or with coronavirus, if someone was fine with their finances and then unfortunately they lost their job, now they may have a reason to why they're looking for a new financial opportunity. If they've said no to you in the past, it doesn't mean that they didn't like you. They didn't want to try Plexus. They didn't believe in this. They just didn't have that need at that time. But now if we talk to them, this could be when they need that, when they have that need in their life. And if we talk to them now, this could be that moment to where we may be able to help them out. And this could be what they're looking for at the time. Also with the physiology, and one of my family members has an autoimmune disorder. And I don't know if any of y'all have ever connected with someone. And Tanya, I apologize if I butcher any of this stuff. This is my only experience with it, but he's been one of my best friends for my entire life. And there would be some times where he would just get set off and get real aggressive out of nowhere, just get real frustrated with something. And we never really understood why. But once he found out that it was due to his autoimmune issue, we were able to kind of address that. Now, I'm bringing this up because if you were talking to someone, and I've had nerve damage before, and if you've ever had to deal with nerve damage or one of those things that affects you mentally, you're not the same person as you want to be. You know, sometimes it's like having a little vice grip on your morale, your mood, your personality, all of those. And so if you're talking to someone who's going through some of those things, that might not be the best time for them. But once they are able, or they're looking for something to help out with that, or, you know, something, it could be the best time to reach out to them. And I know I got a little off track on that spot right there, but it's more or less just kind of challenging you to stay through that follow-up, go through that gunk. When someone's saying no, it doesn't mean that they don't like you. Maybe they just didn't need it at that time. So to summarize with all of this, I would love to hear if any of y'all have been talking to someone for maybe over a year or for a few months who you never thought was going to join your team, and they finally said yes in these last few months. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear, Tanya, you're up first again on this one. What was it that made them finally say yes and want to join Plexus?
Her husband has worked with my husband for a long time. She uses Plexus for her donkey. She's used ProBio for her donkey for the longest time, would not use it for herself, like voodoo magic, not going to do that mess. And her husband watches my post. She'll look at my dog pictures and that's it. But her husband watches my post, and he told her he was headed back out offshore, and he was like, I really think that you need to call Tanya. He's like, me leaving you makes me worry. She has some significant autoimmune issues going on, and chronic pain, like just a lot of similarities. And she had done hip damage a few years ago, and she's been doing that whole natural remedy. And all he knew was he would come home and she couldn't walk because she would be in pain. So he was just like, I can't do it anymore. Like, you need to call. So she started doing all of this researching mess on her own. And then sent me a message, and she was like, all right, like, let's talk. You have what I need, and I know that. So let's talk about it. And that we had back and forth about her donkey, about me using it for me. Like, we've seen each other multiple times a year for years. Nothing. Very similar to my relationship with Amy. It was one of those, I just need you to leave me be here, but leave me be, you know? And then finally she did. She was encouraged by her husband, but she did. And she was an immediate, okay, let's do it right now. So
I love that. And I love how it was her husband that is the one that was like, all right, like, we need to get you on this. Like, love that. Thank you for sharing. How about anyone else? Has any of y'all had someone join your team recently that you didn't think was going to join for a while? All right, let's hear it. Oh, Tamsin, you're up first, and then you, Jamie.
I had a girl I had been talking to for 3 years. I had given her samples. She loved it. Wasn't ready. And then finally messaged me one day out of the blue and said, okay, what do I do? And I was like, oh, okay. It like took me for a loop, because 3 years of her saying no, but I'll try something. Like, here's a sample of this. Here's a sample of this. And then she signed up. So, and then she stopped ordering for a couple months. And then last month she ordered again. So. No.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. I think that's like one of those moments where you have to like reread that text. Like, wait, are you sure? Like, you're actually wanting to sign up? You're doing this? We're doing this now? So love that. How about Jamie? How about yourself? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah, I had a friend who I have been talking to. I actually went back and looked since 2018. Thyroid issues, the whole gambit. And she saw my post about the 6 people. And we've been going back and forth for 2 years. And I actually got her on a 3-way call with Amy because I'm not familiar with all the thyroid. And she sent me a message. We talked to her on Friday, and Sunday I got a picture, a screenshot of her horoscope that said, you should trust a friend that is reaching out or something new or something. And she goes, I think this is my sign. Walk me through the setup. And I walked her right then. And I was kind of not giving up, but it was getting to the point that it was just like, okay, I'm here. You know, I'm here. We still talk. I'm not going to bring it up again. And she just jumped ship as soon as she read her horoscope and talking to Amy. But
No, that is so awesome. That's a shout out for that horoscope. Given, I don't know, let's just say that's super awesome.
Yeah, it's all aligned.
Heck yeah. Well, awesome job. Super exciting to hear that we've got those people watching us in the background. You know, you never know when someone's watching us. Sometimes people are wanting to watch just to make sure that you're going to fail first so they can be like, oh, like you didn't do anything. And then you're out there making money, losing weight. And then this person's just looking dumb. It's like, all right, I have to sign up. Like now I'm just getting left behind, you know, so love that. So I know we're kind of in on that half-hour mark, but we've got another area we can chat on for a little bit. Yeah, cool. All right, Amy, giving us the thumbs up. So we're set. So, and if you've chatted with me before, you've probably heard me talk about this a few times, but it's one of my favorite things. But I want to talk about the success cycle. And these are 4 steps that people need to go through whenever they're looking to find success with something. The very first step is potential. The second step is action. The third step is results. And the fourth step is belief. Now it goes through these 4 and it goes through order. Now we're going to go on a journey, and let's say we just got a brand new customer that joined our team. This person has 0 interest in telling anyone they're doing Plexus, just want to hang out, close the door, shut the windows, drink their pink drink, and get healthier. Before this person signs up, they need to see the potential of what these products can do for their health, whether it's have more energy, lose some weight, get rid of crow's feet, get more youthful skin, whatever it may be. They need to see what they can achieve with these products. Once they see that, they take action. And taking action is staying consistent on the products, let's say for about 2 months. So now that this person's been on the TriFlex for about 2 months, they've had their own results. And if this person's let's say they lost 15 pounds, they're doing amazing. Now that they've lost 15 pounds, they have the belief in the products that all of us on this call have. You know, they know that you didn't sell them snake oils. You're not selling them some crazy placebo pills or anything like that. They know that these things really, really work. So now maybe they see the potential of why they should tell their friends about this. So they take action, tell their mom, maybe their best friend, and they've just earned $50 from those BBBs. Now that they've earned $50, they have the belief in the financial opportunity with Plexus. They know that this isn't just some crazy scam, a quick get rich quick scheme. They actually have some money. And I mean, we've heard that story so many times. Like, we got the check in the mail. My husband was like, what the heck, do we have to send this back? You know, so like that's kind of where they're at in that journey. So now that they've earned money, they see the potential of why they want to go for silver. And that just goes on and on. So your job as the sponsor in that journey is to show people what the potential is and what they could achieve with Plexus, why it's going to be amazing with them, and what it can help them achieve. After that, and they get into action, that's when you're there kind of in the trenches with them, maybe guiding them, giving them some steps, high-fiving them along the way. And the results and belief, they have to experience those 2 steps. But once they do, that's when you have that rock star on your team, that person down in the trenches wanting to work towards that next rank. And I don't know if that sounds like any of y'all's stories or any of the stories that you've heard from other people, but I think looking at it in kind of those steps really helps you hone in on the spots that are really most efficient for you when talking to people. So with that, now I would love to turn this over and ask how y'all are working with your new enrollments that sign up. What steps are you taking with them? Are you doing any goal setting, adding them to Facebook groups, whatever it is? I would love to hear those steps. So Christine, we're starting with you on this one. When someone new joins your team, what do you do with them?
Well, this month has been great because Amy Morton, everybody actually started doing these wellness launch events. So my first step was to get a customer. So I did that crazy post and I had like 18 people, reply. well, more like 6. It was like 18 of you guys like plugging in your stuff, but I had 6 leads, and so far I have closed 4. And the next thing I do like right away is, well, first of all, I put every single one in a 3-way. So immediately, instead of just me reaching out to my friend, I immediately put them into a 3-way. Like I would just say, hey, I'm working with a product specialist and she's going to help you choose which 2 products you're going to get free. So that's what I said. And they were like, great. I put them in a 3-way with Amy. She would just do her thing. Amy Morton. She's not on this call, unfortunately. So after they pick up their welcome pack, then I take over from there and send them my link and sign them up. And then I immediately get them to join Pink Rockstars, our private page. And then I introduce them and start tagging them in posts. And we have the Summer Slim Down going on right now with Nikki. So I asked them, hey, I just joined the Summer Slim Down. It's just an accountability group. Do you want to do it? Yeah. So I just am like immediately, like the day that we are signing them up, I'm making sure that they are, and I'm saying, click on this link. I just added you to this private group. Click on the link now. And then the second I see them click in, I'm trying to introduce them. I was just entering in my first person. So 2 of my people are going to be tough. They don't want to join the group, even though I'm like, it's non-negotiable. You got to get in. This is like how you're going to learn about the products and about any flash sales, or we do, just product information. You can ask questions. They're like, I don't have time for that. So that's a little tricky for me to overcome that. And those 2 actually happen to be sisters, but whatever, as long as if I stay in touch with them about their products. And it's funny because I signed up one of their mutual friends, and she's like going gangbusters. So my goal this month is to invite them to do a wellness launch. So when I'm in the 3-way with Amy, she says, hey, as a new ambassador, you get this benefit of a wellness launch where you get to invite some friends in and let them know that you're starting this new program, and you're going to have more success when you do it with your friends. And when you join 3, you get $300, 6, you get $660, and 10, you make $950 after a 45-minute event. How does that sound? And this one girl, this mutual friend, was like, that sounds amazing. I want to do it. So I'm like, we need to encourage Ashley and Audra to do this with us. So I'm trying to get her to help me encourage them to do it, because I mean, if I weren't in the Pink Rockstars page and I wasn't in this community, I mean, I don't even know if I would have, I probably would have continued on the products because they work, but there's no way I would be even thinking about sharing. I would just be a product user. So that's kind of what I do. Did I answer your question? Probably too long.
No, you
Mute
honestly,
me. Just mute me now.
No, you're fine. You touched on a few things that I really, really liked. I love how when you're getting them in that 3-way chat, you refer to Amy as that product specialist. I think that that's a real cool way to kind of get that conversation going and build up their value. I like how you make things sound real casual. Honestly, I love how you were saying like, yeah, we're going to get you in this group, but also how you let them know that you're doing some of the steps. Like you're like, yeah, I'm in this group also just for increased accountability. Like that just makes it sound like so casual and inviting, but also really impactful at the same time.
And I say like, your instructions are in this group, so I'm going to tag you in the instructions of how to take your product. So you need to join so you can get your instructions. So instead of me sending them a screenshot, I'm kind of like, screw that. They need to get it. Like they need to go in and read my tag and get it, work for it a little bit. And because then when they see their cute face with my welcome banner, and all of you awesome guys are like, welcome, welcome, welcome. They're like, oh my gosh, so much love. And I think there's power in that. So I'm just excited that we found a system that works. Like I'm praying that these launch events, that I can get at least 3 people to say, yeah, sure, I'll invite friends to a launch event, try and make $1,000. Because that would be 30 people added to my team. That would be me going senior gold, I've been stuck at silver for like a year. Like I just really want my products paid for. But now I'm like, I just want to get to gold. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I could get to senior gold. So
Boom, it's that success cycle. Seeing that potential of that next rank.
Right. I know. All right, I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to mute my.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing, Christine. Next up, Ashley, I would love to hear from you. What do you, sorry, lost my train on that one. What steps are you working with your new people on? What are you doing with them? Yep. Oh, it's choppy a little bit.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh.
now
there you go.
All right, there we go.
I had you in the grocery store and I was listening, and then I went to go to the car and it connected me to the Bluetooth.
Oh wow, I like literally got you at like right the right time.
So I took a long break and I stayed consistent with the products, but I wasn't really working the business. And one day I just got this idea, well, not an idea, but I started realizing like all my friends' posts, and they kept switching companies. Like, you know, a couple of them were like 5 companies in like the last 5 years. And I'm like, wow, you know, it says something that we can stay with Plexus for 5 years and still love the product and realize like that says something for our company and it says something for our products. And it just like clicked that, you know, this is an opportunity that I really should, you know, get motivated and, you know, get kicked in the rear end to start. So I signed a couple people, not last month, the month before, and I've hosted some launch parties. We haven't signed anybody from them, but we do have quite a few people that we've been in conversations with, and I've been in 3 ways. I did one on Thursday night, Friday night, and Sunday, yesterday. So, you know, there's a lot of conversations going, and we're just trying to get the momentum and see where we can go.
I love that. Honestly, I think I mean, like you were saying, you know, when some people leave and jump around from company to company to company, their friends list, I mean, eventually it's like you just see that this person switches every 6 months. And if this person is always finding like the next greatest thing every 6 months, it's hard to really relate to that and think that like, man, like, I don't know how you're discovering all this greatness every 6 months and you keep finding something that's even better than what you were doing before, you know, and it's so hard to kind of keep up with that. So love that you, I don't know, just realized that and decided to stick through it. You know, a lot of times it just reminds me of the episode or the Star Wars episode 3 when Anakin is finally turning into Darth Vader near the end. And Obi-Wan Kenobi is just like, no, like, just stay. Like, don't go to the bad side. Don't go. Like, I feel like that's usually what it's like when people are going over to somewhere else. You know, it's like, don't do it. Like, you have all this great stuff over here. Like, don't leave.
Dawn,
you're
I
my
keep
people.
thinking, like, they keep switching. I'm like, they keep switching. Eventually, one day they're going to be like, okay, maybe I should try Plexus. And then they're going to be like, oh, this is where I should have been. You know, but it's all on their own timing and when it's the right time for them, I guess.
100%. All right. Last one on this one. And then, Amy, I'm going to turn it back over to you for just some motivation, maybe some tips to close this bad boy out. But Amy Morton, I know you're kind of new on this call, so you probably have no idea what the heck we're chatting about right now. But right now, we're kind of just sharing what steps we're doing when we have a new enrollment join our team. So what do you do when you get a new level 1? How do you set them up for success?
Oh, okay. New level 1. So we just started this month that when we get a new level 1, I'm trying to send all of my ambassadors, I send them, you know, lots of stuff, add them to the team page and all the usual stuff, but I'm sending them this text message that says basically, lucky you joined the team, you get a wellness launch. And we like to get these wellness launches done within the first 2 weeks of you joining. You invite friends, we do the, I can share in the chat what I said, but basically you invite the friends, we do the posting. You can get your products paid for and make some money. When do you want to do this wellness event? Do you want to do it this Thursday or do you want to do it next Monday? And I mean, everybody is like saying, oh my gosh, okay, yeah, I'll do it Thursday. Oh, I'll do it Monday. Like, and so we're getting them all plugged in with these wellness launches and they're inviting their friends. And it's been great. I wish that we had started this a long time ago.
Well, I think it's one of those things where now everyone's been working from home. People seem to be so much more receptive on hopping on Zoom or like getting on a webcam or like engaging in a 3-way chat, you know, so I feel like people are just so much more receptive with a few of those things. So I think it's the best time to really start running with those.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Nicole, I think I saw you raise your hand up for a moment. So did you want to share with us? Or I also saw you were just kind of emphasizing how awesome those events have been.
Oh yeah, I just hit the button, like the applause button, I guess. But yeah, so can you guys hear me? I'm on Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So yeah, Amy and I are on the same team. Amy's my sponsor, Amy Morton. And we've been really getting a great response from these wellness launches where before, I think what I did was like kind of prejudge people. And it's not that I never asked people to do events, because we did them. If you think back, Amy, there's a lot of people we've hosted online events for in Facebook for the past couple years. But I think what happened was I would get scared to ask some people, or I just prejudged people thinking they wouldn't want to do this, and then just only ask certain people if they wanted to like maybe do a Facebook event. Where now I'm just being more bold about it and just offering it to everybody, because you never know until you really ask. And people that I probably would have judged before are actually saying yes. And I'm like asking them scared and just doing it, sending the message. And you know what, even if they say no, that's fine. Or if they don't respond to me, like whatever, at least I've given them the option to do it. And so we have quite a few of these this month. But what Amy and I have tried to do is kind of streamline it and try to pick only certain days out of the month that we want to host them, and try to get people to combine. So we're not hosting one every single night for all of our like ambassadors, but we're trying to get some of them on the same one, you know? So for example, I think we have 3 people or so that are sharing on this one on Thursdays. It's like technically their wellness launch event. And so that's been working really well. And then, I mean, for me personally, over the past month, I've been doing really fun, like virtual happy hours where it's like a sip and see. And so like, we've been like, basically sharing and seeing who wants like a sample of either Slim or Active, and then getting them to hop on a half-hour happy hour. And it's either on Zoom or it's on like Zoom and Facebook. And then we've been getting a lot of signups from that, because it's like a really fun like place where people are like connecting, not just like, you know, not just Facebook posts. So that's been really good for us as well.
Love that. And Amy Welch, I want to kind of just source you for this one a lot. And because I love how a lot of y'all are talking about doing the same type of events. And this is something where I'm so excited about that, because I know before in these previous years, I mean, Amy, like I've always loved the trainings that you and Sarah put on, and I have no idea if I'm just talking out of my butt on this one, or hopefully there's some accuracy on this, but I just feel like in these last few years, we've kind of identified what the best events are like to be doing on a regular basis and how to host them, and really kind of fine tune that, opposed to trying to think like, okay, what am I doing this week? What are we going to do after that? What are we going to do to address this? I feel like there's so many great streamlined processes now to where it's usually kind of just plugging the right people into the right things instead of trying to have to think of so much content or what we're going to do next. It's really just kind of applying what there is. So Amy, I would love to turn this over to you for closing this out, for some tips to either close this month out, some motivation for all these rock stars, whatever it may be. I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, so I am so proud of everyone on this team. First, John, before I forget, I want to thank you for taking the time, because I know it's way past quitting time for you and you're still pouring into us. I really feel like corporate has really been a huge reason why we can focus on our businesses, because there's a lot of stuff that we used to have to do that now corporate's doing, and it's just so fabulous. But I got to tell you guys, it is like we just had an epiphany. I don't know what it was, but all of a sudden we started, like Christine just said, we've changed our mindset and we're just offering the buffet to everybody. And maybe it was quarantine that did that. Maybe it was COVID that did that. I don't know, but whatever it is, we need to keep doing it, because we can't, like, you know, Nicole had said we had prejudged before who we would offer events to. We did it all the time. I would just assume that somebody wouldn't be interested because they'd just be a product user. And really, when you think about it, that's just so selfish to not give someone the chance at a business when we haven't even asked them about it, right? Or also the mindset to then also keep bringing it up. Like Christine, your people that don't want in the team page, that's okay. They might eventually, right? So like you just make sure they love their products, you're there for them, and then maybe next month we bring it up again or something. But this team is rocking and rolling. I have never been so excited for this business. I don't think I've been this excited since when I first started, and I can feel the energy. Everyone's rocking the events, and what I love about it, but it's also hard for me because I'm kind of a mama bird. I love that they're rocking and rolling on their own. Like Nicole and Amy, they're all doing their events, Tamsin, but part of me is like, oh my goodness, they don't need me anymore. But that's because they're going to be their own jewels and they've got their own teams. So then I just got to like help them and support them and find my new little baby birds that, you know, I've got a couple new level ones that I'm really helping to get to silver. And so I love it that they're just off at the races and they're doing, these guys that are on this call and the people that are going to watch it, they are doing jewel level things for their team. Their points just haven't reflected it yet. So
Amy, we're always going to need you.
oh,
Don't say that. You're always going to need it.
oh, you're so sweet.
I know, I'm very needy. I don't know if you picked up on that. I'm like, you aren't going anywhere.
I love it. I'm just so excited. I love every time I see someone like, we're doing this event, we're doing this. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love it. Yay. I'm so excited. And the community that we have built, like you had mentioned, maybe John, I think you hinted around it at the beginning, that it is a crappy time in the world right now, like quarantine, COVID, and all the other crap that's happened post coming out of quarantine. And I think beyond the awesome products and the paycheck, we can offer people something that they crave. And it's that sense of community and positivity and fun. Like I've never worked anywhere where it's always so positive and people always cheer you on. Like that's big right now for someone to have a group of people cheering them on and wanting them to have success no matter what. A lot of people need that right now in the world. And I think that's something we can offer too, is the community that we have and that we've built. So we're just all bummed that we can't see each other at convention and we can't have a retreat yet.
No, I'm so bummed about that because I feel like convention's kind of like that, like needed reset time, you know, where we get together and just kind of,
It's
who
like the
cares about the
reset.
stresses we've had to go through.
It's like the reset and then the kickoff, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but it's still going to be good. Everyone's registered. We're excited about the new product. We're excited to get, I think we have a lot more newbies that are attending convention because it is virtual. So I know we've got to push these next few days to get all of our new people still to see if they want to pay the super cheap $29 to register.
I think it's going to give a lot of people who couldn't go to convention that excitement that we get going, that they're actually able to participate in it and see. And like my mom's laid up with foot surgery. She couldn't have gone if she wanted, but now she gets to experience it. And I think it's going to be good for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think you're totally.
Yeah, it's got some highlights and some things that, like, it's always fun if we could do it in person, but if more people are able to go and check it out, you know, like that's also such an amazing thing. So it's both got some pros and cons to it, but I'm excited to see how they pull it off. I think we've been able to like beef up the roster of speakers too, since we've been doing it from home. Cause when John Maxwell was announced, I had zero idea that he was even like in the roster lineup. So I don't know.
And there's a few secret ones too, a few surprise ones, right?
I believe so. Honestly, it's I haven't been looped in too much with convention stuff. It's I did my first training for it on Friday. I actually had a whole product rundown and training of product of unannounced things. So that was kind of exciting, but yeah.
Well, it's funny, guys, if you've not been to corporate, like when they start prepping convention or whenever there's a new product, like that end of the hallway where those people work, they've got like big butcher paper so you can't even see down the hallway. Like it's super top secret. So like John said, not even people at corporate know what's going on. So
yeah, and it's funny because we have a lot of cardboard cutouts of the execs and stuff, and they usually just line them up on a row. So when you walk in, you just have like cardboard cutouts of Tarl staring at you all day and all these things. So it's always kind of funny to be in the office around those crazy times.
Yeah, so crazy. Well, thank you, John, so much. I just love connecting with you guys. Thank you guys for taking the time out. I know this was not a call that was on our schedule we posted at the beginning of the month, but I'm really excited you guys are on, and I hope it's helpful. And just to have that connection with corporate guys, that's like such a big deal. You know, that we have that access to corporate. So I love it, and we appreciate you, John.
Of course. It was great hanging out with y'all. And I mean, I've been saying it since I've been down in the Texas region, but this is always going to be one of my favorite teams. Love Welch's, Taylor, Hinkle's, like all of y'all. I mean, I just love this team so much. So, of course.
We are kind of the best. So. Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, honestly, like, I mean, I've referenced your guys' training so many times. Like, I still talk about the snowball, like pushing the snowball down the hill to roll with that momentum. Anytime it's about to be New Year's, I'm always talking about that training. So you better believe it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for being on.
Bye everyone.
guys.
Have a great night.